Assalamualaikum. Hello. In this video, me and my group members will talk about the novel A Street Cat Named Bob. In this novel, it tells the story about a musician and his best friend, Bob the cat. The writer of the story is the main character himself, so the writer used the pronoun I to indicate the main character in the story, like he was writing a diary when he wrote the novel. So by doing so, the readers will feel like they are the one experiencing the story. In this video, we are going to talk about a few of the syntax and morphological aspects we can find in the novel. So first of all, let me start with a very simple example. When the main character was asked how he was feeling, and he only replied with not great. It is a very simple structure, not great, that he means he was not feeling good, and he doesn't want to elaborate more on how he felt. And it can be seen that sometimes a simple sentences can be more efficient to convey what we felt, or more than some complicated long sentences. Next, we are going to talk about the use of fragments in the novel. Fragments have many use in the novel because they are one that used to make highlight things that the speaker says, and there are one thing that make use of fragments when the speakers want attention from the others. So first is the highlighting part. When the doctor in the novel tells the main character about the medicine he need to take, the doctor says, remember, take this. And that is how you know that it is important for the main character to remember to take his medicine.
Also, fragment used to make a notice because usually we don't really notice when people talk to us. Example is when the husband approached the main character by saying, "Excuse me, sir," before proceeding with his sentence. The husband's approach made the main character feels amused because it's been a while since someone called him sir. Actually, the dialogue is a complete sentence. However, when it's written in a novel accompanied with the narration, the sentence becomes fragmented. Next, the fragment also found in chapter 15 when the seller threatened people to buy his magazine by saying buy one or else what. It is fragmented because we do not know what he will do next, and his dialogue stopped there.
The next part is the usage of orange language in the novel. So in the novel, there are parts when the main character is speaking with another a group of boys from Spain, and it was lucky that one of them can speak in both Spanish and English, so that he can be the translator between the main character and their groups. So in this part, we can see that some sentence structure for languages are the same with each other. For example, in the sentence, there are part when the Spanish boy speak Bob es una estrella en España. So this means that Bob is a star in Spain. So this is the sentence tree for the Bob is a star in Spain, and this is the sentence tree for Bob es una estrella en España. If you can see that the both of the sentence structure is the same.
Hey, it's your girl Zulaishah. So besides that, the usage of slang also can be detected from the novel. See, the slang used in the novel the most is the slang mate that the main character uses. James uses when he addresses his cat Bob. Some of the sentences using this slang are, "Hey mate, you're making life difficult for the rest of us who are working here," in chapter 16 from page 217. And another one is, "You're right mate, I'm here if you need me." And another one is, "We did it mate," in chapter 17 from pages 227 and 232 respectively. Other than that, there are more actually, which is piss off and ours. Both of these slang can be found in chapter 5 from page 63, piss off is stronger, and chapter 7 from page 94. Get off your arse and do a proper day's work, you long-haired layabout. Moving on. So, besides all of these details, obviously the most important part of language is grammar. There are some parts in the dialogue where the characters, they use improper grammar format. See, for example, this line is spoken by a Chinese lady. Hear me, Chinese lady, alright? Who accuses James of giving drugs, but you giving him something. See, the choice of verb form is in the sentence is actually wrong, but the usage of the sentence in the novel is great actually, because the one who had spoken the sentence was not a Chinese speaker. And she is a Chinese lady, and that is understandable that she doesn't have a strong grammatical knowledge, but her level of mastery in English language is actually sufficient enough to converse with others.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. I'm Sharifah and Shahiera. So today I'm going to present about the morphology analysis. There are some common morphological that I have found in the novel A Street Cat Named Bob. So the first one is affixation that consists of two affixes, prefixes, and suffixes. As we know, suffix is a letter or group of letters which is added to the end of the word. Okay, for example, I could really tell that he had something of a personality in the chapter 1 page 2. The word personality is a suffix that ending with ity. The base word personal is from adjective and it has changed to personality, which is a noun. Next is prefix. What is prefix? Okay, prefix is a letter or group of letters which is added to the beginning of the word. For example, in a novel stated that his coolness, his speed, and his skill as a killer was amazing to behold. The word behold is one of the prefix example. The prefix be is usually used at the beginning to create new words with different meaning. A prefix is added before the root word. Last analysis is criticization. In criticization, we have critics, which the certain words are unable to stand alone as independent phonological forms for a variety of reasons. Certain verb forms have reduced variants such as am for am, as for is, and r for are that can't stand alone since they no longer constitute a symbol. So that's all from me about the morphological analysis. Thank you.
Next, we are going to take a look at the syntax analysis of the novel A Street Cat Named Bob. So, what is syntax? According to the online Encyclopedia Britannica, syntax is the order of words in sentences, clauses, and phrases. Simply put, syntax is the study of sentence structure. There are 4 types of sentence structure. The first one is simple sentence structure, compound sentence structure, complex sentence structure, and compound complex sentence structure. This novel actually uses a lot of complement clauses, and there are many complex sentence structures. For example, Bob was still proving a real crowd pleaser, especially with tourists. This sentence comes from chapter 9 in the novel. This sentence has 2 clauses, independent clause and dependent clause. The main clause, Bob was still proving a real crowd pleaser, is independent on its own. So the subject of the sentence is Bob. The predicate is was still proving, and the subject is a real crowd pleaser. The second phrase, especially with tourists, is dependent on the main clause. The word especially is an adverb, and the word with is a preposition. So this phrase is actually an adverb prepositional phrase. So it doesn't has any subject and cannot stand alone as a one complete sentence. The word tourist only modifies the object from the main clause, that is a crowd pleaser. The next sentence that I'm going to analyze comes from chapter 10 in the novel. It reads as, "The instant he saw them tottering around above our heads, I could tell Bob felt threatened." This sentence is actually a complex sentence. There are 2 separate sentences and it is combined with the use of a comma. The phrase "the instant" is an adjective phrase and it modifies the subject he in the main sentence. The main clause, he saw them tottering around, contains a complement clause. The main clause's subject is he, the predicate and verb is saw, and the object is them. The phrase tottering around is a verb phrase and it modifies the object and is dependent on the main clause, he saw them. The second sentence, I could tell Bob felt threatened, also contains a complement clause. I could tell is a dependent clause. It has the subject I, modal verb could, and the verb tell, but it does not have an object. This sentence is modified by the second clause, Bob felt threatened, and shows the relationship between the two sentences. Without this clause, the first clause will be incomplete. There are many simple sentence structures used in the novel too. For example, I was taken into police custody from chapter 11 and I felt a real mixture of emotions from chapter 12. These sentences are simple sentences. In the first sentence, the subject is I, the predicate is was taken into, and the object is police custody. In the second sentence, the subject is I, the verb is felt, and the object is a real mixture of emotions. This sentence has the structure of subject plus verb plus object, so it is a simple sentence.